Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. John Kelly, profiler here, and welcome. Welcome. We're going to do a short vid today, so try and hang in there with us. It's called Man on a Mission. Okay, this is Luigi Mangione, Man on a Mission. I want to send our deepest condolences out to the Thompson family and all their friends. We're very sorry for the death of Brian. It's very tragic. Also, I want to send out our disclaimer that Luigi Mangione is absolutely positively innocent, proven guilty in a court of law. And if you like what we're doing today, please like us and subscribe. Right now, I'll turn it over to my producer, Leah. Leah, hit me with some questions.
Hey, thanks for having me on again here. All right, so first things first, let's talk about Luigi. Can you tell me what kind of person you think Luigi is based on his lifestyle that we know? So what we know so far, I mean, he was the valedictorian in his high school. He went to the University of Pennsylvania, got a bachelor's and master's in, what was it, computer science. He was the founder of a video game development club there. He was a teaching assistant, head counselor at Stanford eventually for some study program. And then I believe a few years later, he tried starting some book club, not associated with the schools. But what does it say about him? Tell me more.
Well, what's interesting, he seems like a very accomplished man. He's very smart, very accomplished, going through school, all right, through his collegiate career. And, I believe he was a man on a mission, a very, very nefarious mission. So it's interesting about him being, so accomplished because that creates a lot of fame. So he's in the spotlight for a lot of fame. Now he's in the spotlight for being infamous. Okay, the suspect in a major murder case in New York City. And acting out in a not so smart way, and not having a lot of street smarts or common sense.
Okay, John, so can you talk more about that? Like, I mean, looking at the way he handled the crime and afterwards, what do you think of his appearance at McDonald's, how he was sitting there and, he had the mask on and how he got identified? What do you take of all that?
I think it's moronic for somebody that was so sophisticated, seems so sophisticated in scoping out the whole area and then pulling off, the deed and then leaving. Again, these are allegations, okay, of him being a murderer, but him leaving the scene, right, covering his tracks pretty well and everything. And then he shows up pretty much looking like he did on TV at a McDonald's restaurant in public view. And it's like one out of a million shot, but somebody there in the public spotted him and turned him in as a person of interest. The cops came and they identified him and they arrested him. So, I mean, on one hand, you see a lot of smarts, and some sophistication. On the other hand, you see personally a lot of moronic behavior, for somebody that's suspected of being a cold-blooded killer.
And then did he, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he have the gun on him still, supposedly?
Sorry?
Didn't he have the weapon on him still?
Absolutely. He had the weapon on him as well. There's no question about it. Now, if you're going to be killing people, the one thing you do not do is carry the evidence around with you. And he was carrying the gun with him. He didn't dispose of it. He didn't get rid of it. Question is, did he make the gun? Okay. Because he says, in his manifesto that it was all about him. He did it all himself. Okay. So does that mean he made the gun too? Because if not, he had to purchase the gun from somebody else. That would have somebody else being involved in this. That would be some type of accomplice. So, bottom line is he would have not have done it all himself. He would have had some kind of help, unless he made the gun himself and he became so attached to it he didn't want to throw it away. Go ahead.
Yeah. So considering that he still had this gun, do you think he would have acted out again if he hadn't been caught?
I absolutely believe he would have, because he held on to the gun. And by now, you got a couple of days, few days went by. He is in the limelight again, not in a positive way for all his positive accomplishments, but now he's in the limelight in a real nefarious way, okay, for being a suspected murderer on the run. All right. So I think the seeing it on TV, but also learning how many people in the country were behind him and are behind him and donating money for his legal expenses, I mean, that had to really make him feel brazen. Okay. And I don't think he would have stopped. Remember something about fame. Fame can be absolutely addicting. And, here's a man on a mission. And I don't think the mission on a mission against insurance companies. And I don't think it would have ended, with just Brian Thompson. I think he would have went on because now he's building up steam and he's building up a crowd and support behind him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Okay, so kind of going on here a little bit. What about his manifesto? What does that say about him? What are your
The
thoughts?
manifesto, I still have more to go over, but to me, it's really reeking of narcissism. And when you look at the last part of it there, where, he says in his ending sentence, evidently, I'm the first person with, I'm sorry, hold it right there.
Okay, I can read it here.
Okay.
We have evidently I'm the first to face it with such brutal honesty.
Yeah, he's the first. He's the first to face it with such brutal honesty. Okay. First person again. Okay. Are we seeing a pattern here? Okay. Where he's in the spotlight for this and he's first person and he's bringing it out and he wants whoever reads this manifesto to know it. Okay. Because don't forget, there's been a lag in time since, he was in the spotlight for being a genius in college and having all these accomplishments. Then we start to go downhill. And now all of a sudden he's back in the limelight, back in the spotlight. Okay. But bottom line, it's for a very, very nefarious act.
Yeah. Okay, so we're seeing a lot of similarities here, maybe between him and the Unabomber. I know he gave a positive review of his one book. What do you see here, John? Is there any similarities? What does this have to do with him?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think you see some different similarities with him and the Unabomber. One, the Unabomber was on a mission against technology, killing people. It seems here Luigi Mangione was on a mission to hurt insurance companies, an alleged mission. Mm-hmm. Okay, alleged, because he's a suspect at this point in time. He's innocent until proven guilty. I see that, and that's probably the biggest connection. Both of them were on missions. Both of them supposedly resorted to violence to get their message across and killed people. And also, the other thing that is very interesting is that both of them were extremely smart. And I'm also wondering, I have to wonder, and I have to look into this, on the schizophrenia. We know that the Unabomber suffered from schizophrenia. Okay, brilliant guy, but suffered from a severe mental illness. Right. I am just wondering if Luigi Mangione, all right, is suffering from some type of severe or the beginning of a severe mental illness. Okay, because again, for somebody to go from being a brilliant mathematician to becoming a suspect in a brutal murder, I mean, that's like day and night. So you have to wonder, and everything has to be looked at here.
Yeah, so going on that a little bit here. So what do you make of him being like going silent, having his family complete a missing person on him? He just kind of went off the grid for a little while. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that could be a telltale sign. He started to isolate. Where was he? What was he doing? We got to try and find that out. But he went into isolation. Okay. Now, did that have to do with some kind of mental illness, depression, schizophrenia? I mean, I don't know. More will have to be revealed.
All right. So moving on here now, I kind of want to talk about the motive here. So we've danced around this, but what is the motive for him in this situation? We know he wasn't insured by United Healthcare that the media is putting out there. What is his play? What is his part in this? What do you think?
Yeah, see, again, we're kind of refining this and digging deeper, doing a deeper dive into this to find out about the motive. Is it strictly revenge? Is it strictly revenge? Could be coming from some kind of hurt he received personally or family wise through United Healthcare. Don't forget his family's very involved in the healthcare business. They own nursing homes. Yeah, I would suspect very much that they had to run into United Healthcare along the way. What did they think about United Healthcare? Have they ever, been bitter to U.S. healthcare insurance and the different um, treatment they were suggested to do by United Healthcare? I mean, I don't know. But if you're in business, you're in the medical business, especially nursing home business, you're going to be running into United Healthcare somewhere. Okay. Now, the other thing is it about fame? Now, does he get to actually have his cake and eat it too? Because he now knows that he's a famous guy being wanted. There's a lot of people supporting him behind him. He misses the limelight where he used to be in college, and all the time he was in the limelight for the various things he accomplished and did. So now the limelight feels good again because he is on display. He's on public display. He's back in the limelight, even though it's in a negative manner. Okay. And, he's back in the limelight. He's back with the spotlight on him.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yes. All right. So we talked about this a little bit, but do you think there's a chance he could have been radicalized by some group, that's against the healthcare and the insurance industry? Or do you think this was just him, a man on a mission, just himself?
Well, he was a man on a mission, whether if he was radicalized by a group or not. He was a man on a mission. There's no question in my mind, and that mission wasn't going to stop with Mr. Thompson. The bottom line is, where was he for those months that he disappeared? Who was he hanging around with? Could he have been radicalized by them, or was he just, reading on himself and absorbing all this negativity about the healthcare and the insurance companies? That's what you have to look at. What was going on? How did this really get cemented? This hatred for insurance companies get cemented into his psyche. Don't forget, he was injured too, had some bad injuries. Looks like he overcame it the way he took off on that bicycle to get away. So it looks like he overcame those injuries that he had. And the other thing I'm concerned about too, it doesn't seem like emotionally he was ever involved with the female. He didn't have a female companion. I don't even see a male companion. I don't know what that's all about. How come there's no deep emotional ties to a significant other? It's all curious at this point in time for me, and we have to keep digging and looking and analyzing.
Yeah, no, John, you said it right. Very curious right now. So, last question here for you. Do you think there's going to be any copycat attempts after this?
I would not doubt it. I would say probably versus possibly versus none. I think there probably will be because there's a lot of people out there. We're seeing it on TV all across the United States. We're seeing this rage at insurance companies. This is not the way to carry it out. The way to carry it out is to, go after them and start a movement and change the laws, right? Not to trying to kill people in the streets, because you get rid of one CEO, guess what? Another CEO replaces them, and they all have obligations to the stockholders. So whoever takes over his position is going to have to try to keep United Healthcare earning the way that Mr. Thompson did.
That's all I got for you right now, John. Just
I thank you so
review.
much. I thank you so much, and I want to thank all our viewers, thanks for viewing in. We truly appreciate you. Most importantly, take care of yourselves. Very violent world, as you know. That's why you're tuning in here. Keep an eye out. Always be vigilant. Make it a great day. And until next time, God bless and thank you.
Thanks, John.